on the bus. It said, lonely, can't make connections with that special person. So I took $20 out of your purse, sent in a picture, they ran it through the computer, and boom, you got a social life.
Ma, I cannot believe you sent my picture in to a total stranger.
I didn't send in your picture, I sent the picture in here.
Get in here. Where in the world did you come from?
The coffee shop at the bus station. I went there from the hospital to, think things out. But this toothless old wino who claimed he was Elvis kept hounding me for bus fare to Graceland.
Well, you're just a boy I knew from my village in Sicily that I was engaged to once.
What?
Well, what do you know? Sophia has a past.
That's right, but unlike yours, I didn't need penicillin to get through it.
Ma, you never talk.
Now that we're alone, tell me all about yourself.
You first.
I've always been the kind of person who liked to have fun.
Oh, Dorothy, do you realize it has been 4 days since I have enjoyed the company of a man?
I know, Blanche.
Dorothy, is Blanche around?
No, she hasn't come in yet.
Good. Then we can talk about the banquet. How's everything going?
Just fine. She doesn't suspect a thing.
I can't wait to see her face when she finds out the banquet is to honor her for all the good work she's done around here.
I can't either.
Well, I'm going to finish the speech I'm writing for Blanche.
Sophia, I really appreciate you giving up your room. It's just so much more fun having the family here than at a hotel.
I bet you're pretty excited about the visit.
Oh, yes. And a little nervous.
Nervous?
Why on earth would you be nervous at your daughter and your granddaughter?
My friend Maria.
Now, Rose and her daughter have reconciled their differences, and Duncan Osgood can walk the streets a free man. I guess all's well that ends well.
That's easy for you to say. You're not at the bottom of a lake clutching someone's dicky.
Last week I left him a stool sample. If I can talk to him about that, you can tell him
Leonard, help me out here. Where on that diet
We're going to Hawaii for a second honeymoon.
Well, sounds like you're trying to work it out. Why are you upset?
Don't you listen, she has cellulite.
Those are dimples.
Dimples are on these cheeks.
I am upset because while they're... You want to be here, don't you? You've been having a wonderful time with Grandma, haven't you? Because if you haven't been, darling, well, we'll just leave right now.
She's on.
Showtime! She's not singing. Why? Why isn't she around the world with him? Sophia, did Vincenzo really say all that?
Of course not. He's a carpenter. I'm a philosopher. He said he wants everyone out of the garage until the work is completed.
But why?
Because to an old guy with cataracts, you two look like Swedish stewardesses.
We're going to Hawaii for a second honeymoon.
Well, sounds like you're trying to work it out. Why are you upset?
Don't you listen, she has cellulite.
Those are dimples.
Dimples are on these cheeks.
I am upset because while they're... These are the after pictures of satisfied customers. I was thinking about having my breasts done like hers.
All right, Blanche, but do you think black really suits you?
Here you go, sweetheart. Dorothy, have you ever heard of something called dirty dancing?
Well, of course, Blanche.
100%?
100%.
Tip-top?
Tip-top.
Then, Mr. 100% tip-top, why the hell does she feel like hell?
Look, Ma.
Wait, I gotta hear this.
It could be functional.
Functional?
Mental.
Mental? Well, let me tell you something, Mr. 100% tip. So goodbye.
Bye-bye. Come back
soon. We forgot something.
We forgot to get a new place.
You're kidding.
Don't worry about it. We just need a roof over our heads for a couple of days while we look. doesn't have to be anything fancy.
You tell us what was going on.
Because you can't help me find a job. Because nobody or nothing can make me young again.
Oh, right, Rose. So your life isn't the same as it used to be. The rules have changed, but it's happened before, hasn't it? I mean, what did you do after Charlie died?
Worse, paralyzed with fear. I kept thinking to myself, what is a simple Protestant farm girl doing in the parking lot of a gin mill in a flashy, fast-paced city like Tyler's Landing? So did you get out of the truck or what? Of course. I marched up to the door.
In the city hall and make it legal.
Stan.
Dorothy, it's fate. Divine intervention. The hurricane. Us pretending we're married. If God didn't want us to be together again, he would never have sent us a priest.
I'm not a priest.
Angelo, get back here. What do you mean you're not a priest?
Cannot go on with this deception.
Excuse me, Crystal Carrington.
Blanche is going to be surprised. It's lucky I accidentally found out today's her birthday. Blanche, what's wrong?
Nothing. I just want to go soak in a hot bath and forget all about today.
Oh, okay.
No.
Next day, she sat me down, gave me a stern lecture, and kicked me out of school. Only I didn't care. I knew what ecstasy was. All she could do was walk around with a dictionary on her head. All right, look, maybe you don't feel like talking to me or to each other, but at least talk to your children. Tell
Oh, you won't.
Oh, no, I oh, girls, what's the difference? The important thing is we're all friends again.
Maybe you're all friends again, but not me. I don't forgive, I don't forget, and I'm prone to growing moles. I can't help it, I'm Italian. It's too bad. A tragedy. A terrible tragedy. May she rest in peace. Great news, Teresa Lombardi passed away.
Mom, what's so great about that?
Her husband, Freddie, he has nothing to do. And neither one of us has seen Ruthless People.
Favor. I want to get a part-time job, and I was wondering if you could watch the kids 2 days a week.
Stan lost his job. I told you that Yutz is a deadbeat.
Stan did not lose his job.
His job he could afford to lose, a novelty salesman. The novelty would be if he made a sale.
Don't listen to...
Well, if you didn't hit on him.
I thought everybody'd like some Flugelkaka.
Mrs. Nyland, would you mind answering a few questions?
As long as it's not math.
Here, honey, why don't you sit right down here? He's very nice.
We've never met.
You have grown.
Rose, could you introduce Blanche and me?
Oh, of course. Dorothy, this is Blanche. Blanche, this is Dorothy. We have jokes like that around here all the time.
It's like living in a house full of Howie Ma...
Yes.
You, sir, are a dirtbag. Oh, I'm sorry. It must be the heat.
What are you two doing? Can't you see Patrick is in the middle of an exquisite performance?
You have no idea just how many performances he has been...
More than 100 and we didn't have any change.
What about these?
Well, they all had hundreds, too.
Rose, let me give you a few lessons in economics. Lesson number 1. Quit being an idiot.
Okay.
Lesson number 2. The law of supply and demand. Before you...
What did you expect to happen?
I don't know. I just kept seeing those cartoon characters with the smoke coming out of their ears.
I don't see anything.
Listen, there's a great big old television set back in my bedroom. What do you say we go in there and turn it off?
Please come up on stage. Bobby Spina.
Please say you didn't do that.
Jeannie Taylor.
Please tell me you
Dorothy Sporda.
You wish you would give me the benefit of the doubt.
Why can't you give me the benefit of logic? Look, Blanche, I'm not saying you're crazy, but places, smells, sounds, they're all very powerful suggestions. I mean, isn't it possible this is all your imagination, Blanche? Blanche! Fine.
The market's in Miami. If it was in Phoenix, I'd be going in the sun.
Now, Sophia, Rose asked a perfectly sensible question.
Am I the only one she caught by surprise?
Ma.
Rose, I'm gonna buy a nectarine. I go to the market every day to buy a nectarine. At 82, that's life. A round trip on the number 6 bus to buy...
Support, Dorothy. I mean, it's not a good idea to go it alone. Did I ever tell you about my cousin Vigdor Frickin? He tried to go it alone in a 3-legged race. Well, you know what happened to him?
Please, Rose, I don't want to hear about your frickin' cousin.
No, I did not order 40 fry pans. It was 40 bedpans. I'm sorry, you were telling me.
What we wanted to talk to you.
Sorry. Hello. Oh, good. Tell him to drop it off at the South End loading dock. Right. I'm so sorry. It's always like this.
He's our 5th Golden Girl.
Would you elaborate on that, please? Might be
I've
a lot
always
of
said
confusion around here.
we would not have this same show if we didn't have our 5th Golden Girl.
Thank
with
you very
us
much.
Every week. We only got him for 4 years.
We love her.
Think about it, Blanche.
Oh, damn, I don't want that to happen.
And I suggest you apologize.
I know Rebecca is a grown woman, but to me, she's still just a little girl. Now, how do you say I'm sorry to your own child? Especially after all...
Ma, you okay?
Fine, I'm just trying to make Rose go away.
Whose theory states a young man becomes intimate with his mother to get revenge on his father?
Well, I don't know who said it, but which mostly meant trying to get my Salvador into a shirt with sleeves. Turn that thing off and get up from the couch. Mama will be here any minute, and you look like a bum.
So what's the problem? She already thinks I'm a bum.
Salvador,
Yeah.
did you get me a present for Mother's Day? He sure is cute. I love the way he's got that jaunty little yellow feather behind his ear.
What's in the shoebox, Blanche?
Every last receipt and scrap of paper I have collected. Margaret Weinstein did the same thing when they changed her medication.
Do you think she could take Dorothy's place in the recital?
Oh, come on, honey, I'll be fine by next week.
Maybe you should have it checked by a doctor.
Oh, come on. It's a very simple thing that comes and goes. I've had it for years. I mean, it's...
Dorothy, honey, it's Rose. We need to talk.
I said go away.
Leave it to me. In a few minutes, I'll have her beaming from ear to ear.
With only this towel between your hot flesh and the cold, wet sand.
I brought my son Skippy home from the hospital in this towel job.
You're lying, Blanche.
Having trouble with this course, and I'd hate to see you have to repeat it.
You know, Professor Cooper, I've been thinking about what you said, and I have no intention of repeating this course.
Good. I'm glad you decided to take me up on my offer.
Oh, I'm declining your offer, but I do want to thank you.
For what?
Well, thanks to you, I saw an idea we can hitchhike. See, I can lift up my skirt, you know, like in that Clark Gable movie, It Happened One Night. Boy, we'll have a ride in no time.
Please, you lift up your skirt, and someone might mistake your thigh for the on-ramp to the freeway. Let's hit it!
Full of grief about Charlie, I forgot to be depressed about the empty nest.
I never had that empty nest depression. I couldn't wait for my kids to get out on their own. I got depressed watching them grow older, because it meant I was getting older. They were like noisy little calendars. They're all ready.
Oh, I really do, and mostly because you guys were there for me. Oh, I'll never be able to repay you.
Honey, think nothing of it. We were glad to help.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that, because if I can't sleep tonight, we might have to do it all over.
$100 so I can get my TV. And I've been working on what we can tell Blanche about that plate. I wrote it down. You be Rose, why don't I be Sophia? This is what we'll say right after they walk in the door. Hi, Blanche. You look beautiful. Welcome home. I love you.
I broke.
How do you know?
Because it runs in the family.
Well, I guess I'll be going too. You know, Dorothy, I don't know, Lanai out there, it was like old times. You and me, a team, united, partners. Felt pretty good, didn't it?
No.
You know, it's still pretty windy out there. I'm going to go outside and see if I can get airborne.
You know, I better get going too.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with my taste. You've seen that ring that I picked out for Dorothy.
Actually, he was going for a bracelet, but the mechanical claw grabbed the ring.
Okay, girls, I guess I do need some help. I'll call tomorrow and we'll set up a time to go shopping. I really have to...
Behave yourself. Hello, Mr. Weinstock.
Oh, my goodness, as I live and breathe.
Unfortunately.
You're little Dorothy Petrillo.
That's right.
You haven't changed a bit. Same gorgeous smile, pretty eyes, beautiful figure, long golden blonde hair.
You have cataracts, don't you? And you also have a sister who loves you. And Pop's nose. Ma, you're not leaving. You're staying here with Rose and Blanche and me.
Yeah, I do. Could we discuss this later?
Wow. Oh, thank you, Blanche, but there's more. The police have just informed me that there was also a robbery by an unidentified man. Perhaps this little fellow knows who he is. I don't know what happened. I came in, she was joking. This isn't working.
Dorothy? Dorothy? Where am I?
Sophia.
Well, I'll just grab my pants and go.
Holly. Rose, I don't need a lecture. It's over.
No, it's not.
I'll leave in the morning. Obviously, I won't be coming back.
And I want to know, will you?
I think he's going to ask her out again.
Dorothy.
You're gonna love it.
Who did you talk to? A very nice receptionist at NBC.
I'm focusing all my powers on this metal object.
That's idiotic.
Now be patient. It's a very good trick.
You're basing this whole thing on a conversation you had with a telephone operator at NBC.
We're going to have to go and tell everyone it was...
Girls, look at this! You know, I remember wearing this outfit the night George took me to Woodstock. Oh, what a night. I will never forget it. Listening to the music of Mr. Richie Havens and Mr. Bob.
Brought back lovely memories, but I'm not the same woman you walked out on 2 years ago. I mean, my whole life has changed, and quite frankly, I like the way it is. The fact that I'm on my own now,
God, Dorothy, are you saying you won't take me back?
Well, we could never have things the way we used to have, Stan.
Hit it, my magnificent little songbirds.
I don't want to take it anymore. I'll just lay your life behind the door. Just no time to
Blanche, why is this a story about acceptance?
Oh, because years later, to get back at me, Kathy Lee slept with my daddy. That was something I had to accept.
I'm busy.
What are you doing?
It's Tuesday night. I'm cleaning out my purse.
Did all that stuff come out of your purse?
No, I was also cleaning out my ears. That's where the phenomenon in the rain bonnet came from.
Sophia, why are you in such a bad mood? Forget man of your suitcase?
Right. Picture it. New York City, 1956. I was a young widow returning to Sicily. There I was on the boat alone, watching Lady Liberty grow smaller in the distance, when suddenly I heard a voice from the vicinity of my knees.
Come in.
Ma, where are Blanche and Rose?
Oh, they wanted to browse in the gift shop. They're having a sale on John the Baptist placemats.
Ma, do you remember that summer you told me I didn't get into girl?
Run! Move it, you little panty waist on the double!
Rose, take it easy. You're pushing them too hard, honey. They're only kids.
Oh, you're right, Dorothy. I've just been under so much pressure. I never would have volunteered if I had known all the work that was involved. I need help.
Mostly with your lipstick. And with Kelly applied makeup with...
To California. She's afraid her husband might not have as much free time to spend with her anymore.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, I should have known that you weren't a saint. It's too much to expect a miracle this late in the game.
What happened?
Oh, bedtime, Rose.
Does that mean we can't talk anymore?
No, they just like you to stay in your own bed.
Oh, darn. I didn't get to breakfast. And I'm Blanche. Can I interest you in some arts and crafts?
This really bites.
Norman, what would you like to do?
Well, I like Army Men.
Oh, there was a colonel here on Tuesday, but he had to go back to the base.
Blanche, I think he means those little guys with the helmets.
Oh, I said that already.
I'm sorry. I just can't seem to get past that one.
Look, Dorothy, let me tell you something about myself. When I was 18, I was married to the boy next door. All my family and friends, they thought we were the perfect couple. Well, we stayed married for 20 years. But I don't think we...
You don't think I'm going to hear anything.
I can't do it, Dorothy.
Jimmy, you've come this far.
I have to.
Jimmy, you're at a crossroad.
Hi, Blanche. Hi, Ted. How was your date?
It's not over yet. What are you doing,
I still can't sleep.
I don't want to seem insensitive, Rose, but that's your problem. Get out.
Blanche said, Not now, Blanche. Dorothy, I know you've done the right thing. In the animal kingdom, the whole idea is to teach offspring to fend for themselves. Humans are the only ones who think it's their duty to care for children their entire lives.
You know, Rose, sometimes you...
Oh, Sophia, that smells heavenly. Is it Chef Boyardee?
Stick it in my heart, Rose. It'll hurt less. Oh, girls, I cannot believe how extravagant I've been. It cost too much money, but when I saw it in the window, I had to have it. Look at this.
But you all come to Charleston and live with me. No, we couldn't do that.
Of course you can. It's all settled. I don't want to hear another word. Why, you know it's an old Southern tradition for the beautiful married daughter to take in her pathetic spinster sister.
How? You bought one street in St. Olaf.
I bought the only street in St. Olaf. That means I'm going to tear down your phone booth.
This is the stupidest game. I could just...
Dorothy.
I could just play all night.
Of course, these people have corneas that look like cotton balls.
Maybe I better talk.
Is that right? Well, listen, Myra, I'm not afraid of you. I'm from Sicily. You know what the #1 export of our village is? Ransom notes. I had a flashback in the can.
People usually are in this situation, Rose.
Unless they're all dressed up in costumes. Sorry.
What's all the commotion? Oh, boy.
Grandma, this isn't what it looks like.
Please, I'm 80 years old. I may not remember what...
Nils Fielander attempted to harass me repeatedly.
What do you mean he attempted to?
He worked at Lars Ericsson's drugstore and tackle shop. He was a soda jerk. Now that I think about it, he was the town jerk. Every Saturday afternoon, I'd go in and have a sundae. Well, Nils would arrange...
Rose, why do you look so depressed?
I'm tired of going out and not enjoying myself. All the men I meet act so old. Last week, I went out with this man that talked for 2 hours about his prostate problems. I lived in Minnesota for 51...
Thank you for all your support.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dorothy. It's just Lucy doesn't know that that's really Fred dressed up as a burglar.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was more important. Doolittle looked like a morphine addict.
There was a time in my life when I wanted to leave St. Olaf. I just didn't feel it was big enough for me. I had my eye on the Great White Way. So I went to St. Gustav, the city that never naps. After that, when somebody new moved in, the town council just handed out peanut brittle. And free passes to the local movie house, which they hope to build someday. Are you all right? You seem upset. I was just thinking, I'm sorry I recently got a hearing aid.
Rose.
And then for dessert, he took me to this most romantic little bistro. And while the waiter was glazing my peaches, Richard leaned over and took my hand, and you know what he said?
What?
Our biggest worry will be tank sweat.
Her cousin Joe is hanging the wallpaper in Tony Bennett's guest bathroom.
Oh, that's nice.
He says celebrities stop by there all the time. In one day, he saw Dean Martin, Liberace, Don Rickles, and Mitzi Gaynor.
All of these people stop by to use the bathroom on the same day?
What am I, urologist to the stars?
It's ended. Rose, how about that guy you dated last summer? Don't you remember? The one who played Goofy at Disney World?
I remember the passion, yes.
Do you remember why it didn't work out?
It just didn't.
Right, but why not?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, Rose, honey, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Get that no member of your family was ever a returning champion on Jeopardy.
Anyway, that's why I have to speak. Oh, I've dreaded this day coming. I just can't do it.
Rose, calm down. Honey, now listen, I know an easy way to get through this. The way...
I didn't think I needed to. I figured if I was happy, you were happy too.
Oh, Daddy, I'm so sorry. You've always been there for me. I should have been there for you. You think you can never forgive me?
Life's too short to not forgive.
Thanks. If I want to look at pictures, I got a photomat. Besides, Rose brought me. She's waiting outside with the dog. Hey, you ever stick your head out of a car window doing 50? What a rush!
Hello! And who do we have here?
This is my...
Now, Blanche is doing that. Why don't I head over to the piano? I'd like to sing you a song that I used to sing as a child. It's an old Minnesotan farm song entitled, I Never Thought I'd Grow a Hair There.
Oh, thank you. Except for that huge donkey butt.
Hi, Ma, you having fun?
No, give me my present.
How do you remember all this?
I tagged them for migratory purposes. Dorothy, come on, the auction needs you. The children need you. Please, won't you reconsider?
Oh, all right. It's only one night. I'll go, but I'll tell you, I really hate this.
Oh, come on, Dorothy. That balloon man couldn't have been that terrible.
It won't be long before I meet nice people and make some new friends. I have a real good feeling about that. So, I just wanted you to know what I decided. I hope to be in Florida before the next winter comes.
Hello? What? Oh, my God. It's Ma. She's at the airport. They caught her trying to buy a ticket out of the country.
There is freedom. The people in my country are going to read all these books and be confused. Now, the way things were, we knew what to do. The choices were easy. When there is one road, no one gets lost.
Not necessarily. Back in St. Olaf.
Rose. Is this a story about someone getting lost?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, don't tell us. Show us.
This neurotic woman who made me and Virginia miserable our entire lives. I gotta go pack.
I hate to give him back.
Goodbye, Danny. Goodbye, pussycat. Goodbye, little fella.
What are you carrying on? It's like talking to a salami.
Clayton?
Blanche, how'd you find me here?
Well, I knew that you and Rose were here last night. May I join you?
Of course.
Thank you.
Every night, 5 to 7 every morning, and of course till noon on Sundays.
Good Lord, no wonder you still mourn that man.
Morning.
Hi, Dorothy. How you doing?
Much better. Ma and I had a long...
Zorro mask right out of poor Ed Rosen's hand. Oh, that must be the roofer.
I'm Sid LeBass. You called about your roof?
Yes, won't you come in?
Yeah, wait a sec. I think I stepped in something. That's good enough.
Miss Stone, you might as well know the truth. Brooklyn, 1949. We were sitting at this table playing a spirited game of gin.
That's 4 in a row tonight, your lucky night, Sal.
I hope that'll continue once we get home.
The man buys a new T-shirt, trims the hair out of his...
Let's go. Okay, girls, let's go.
Good.
Blanche.
Dorothy, I just can't take my eyes off that man's body. I want to see more.
He is covered with oil, wearing a loincloth.
Now that's too eerie.
The dogs are on my tail again. Through the river. Run through the river.
Ma, we just put in a new bell. It's to scare people.
It'll never work.
Hello. Are you true? When the applause started, his clapper went crazy. The lights went on, off, on, off, on, off. And Miles did his impression of the old King Kong. We laughed and laughed. So I pretended I was a dime.
What's wrong with you? You made me feel crazy, like I had made it all up. You dismissed me. You made me feel like a child, a fool, a neurotic who was wasting your precious time. Is that your caring profession? Is that healing?
You owe me an explanation.
Well, Ted and
I don't have to stand here and listen to this.
Ma, don't give me that look.
What look?
Look, I didn't do anything wrong. Ted and I just talked last night.
Right, and the Godfather made all his money selling olive oil.
Mr. Thurber, I don't believe I quite understand your problem.
Well, then I guess I don't have a problem.
Mr. Thurber, this is a crisis center. I'm a trained counselor.
I don't know what to do.
That's the point. If you're not sure, you can't change your mind tomorrow. You wanted me to be here for your death. How about letting me be here for your life?
Like a friend.
Like a best friend. For one good ticket way up front.
What about me?
I thought about that. This is the plan. We'll get one of those really long overcoats. I'll stand on your shoulders and...
And what? Blend in with the circus folk?
Dorothy, I need to get close to the Pope so I can ask him to come and bless my friend Agnes in the hospital.
Then they just don't get the message.
Oh, Blanche is so right, Dorothy. That was exactly the problem I had with Eddie Parker. He was this real sweet guy who was crazy about me, but I just didn't feel the same way about him. You see, when Charlie went off to war, I went to work for our local U.S.
Extraordinary. Did you know an Ingrid Kerklevaner?
You knew Ingrid?
She must have been about 19 then. She worked in the kitchen in the monastery. Talk. That's all she ever did. We were a silent order, so that was very refreshing.
I suppose it was. I mean, sure.
Limbo under the clothesline.
But I can't accept it.
Okay.
I only have half of the $2,500, and since I don't qualify for a bank loan, I'm just going to have to sell some of my stuff.
Hold it. No daughter of mine is selling her stuff.
Ma, it's not cute once you pass 80.
Oh, I thought I heard come.
That's great, Ma. That's really beautiful. But there's nothing like that between me and Mr. Gordon. If you don't believe me, why don't you join us for lunch?
Join you for lunch? Let me check my social calendar. Oh, okay, I'm free.
Ma,
After that, Ingrid died in childbirth.
You know the story?
Oh, yes. Late one night, a basket was left at the local orphanage containing hickory smoked cheese, spicy beef sticks, a baby, and some kind of crackers that didn't go with anything.
Miss Devereaux?
Oh, yes.
Won't you come in?
Oh.
Thank you, Andy. Blanche, come on in. Sit down. And who's this?
Who do I look like? I'm her mother.
Grandmother.
Yours and yours aren't? Please, Gloria, I'm happy for your children, all except Catherine. No, she really should have taken the nose job instead of the Mustang for graduation.
This reminds me of when we were little, and you used to tell me bedtimes.
If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? I also considered auditioning for the Actors Studio.
Why does every fighter become an actor? Just once, I'd like the other...
Hello? You want to talk to who? Dorothy. Sorry, you must have dialed the wrong number.
Blanche, what do you mean, wrong number?
Oh, it was a man, so I just assumed.
Hello? Yes, this is she.
Oh, you see, Rose, the Greeks and Romans always sculpted men. They admired the beauty of the male form. Its sinewy, muscled hardness, its rippling loins, its chiseled buttocks. My, it's getting hot in here.
It certainly is.
I have 25. Do I hear 30?
Oh, and you're talking about his wife. So, did you bring the bimbo?
Chrissy's back in Maui. I just came to sell a piece of property that Dorothy and I bought when we were in Miami on our honeymoon. Just sign on the last page.
Read it first. The last time he had you sign something, I ended up in a home.
But she was never sure whether Sven's pleading was the pain talking or the medication talking or the guy in the next bed talking. You see, the guy in the next bed was Ingmar von Bergen, St. Olaf's meanest ventriloquist.
The pills myself, but I want you to be there and hold my hand.
You're right. I don't understand. I'd do anything to stay alive. If my heart stopped beating, I'd want every doctor in town jumping up and down on my chest.
You say that now, but I don't have the courage to die by inches. I'm going to do it whether you...
Make that 2 hours.
Wow. Happy birthday, Ma.
Actually, we never got to the party at all.
For Dorothy.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Boy, Blanche, I didn't realize you were such a big spender.
Go ahead, Dorothy, you go.
Okay, I buy for...
Experimenting with something new, but it didn't work out.
Dorothy, he's only trying to do his job. It can't be very pleasant for him either.
Actually, as far as stakeouts go, it's kind of nice here.
I thought you couldn't hear with those things on.
Finally came to me. Why not take the best features of each lady to create one perfect lady? That is what you see. You know, it is not hard to understand why you are such good friends. You complement each other very well indeed.
Thank you, Laszlo.
Oh, one more.
Blanche, I know this is crazy, but I talked to him and I really think it is George. And I think you should talk to him too.
I'm scared.
Listen, if you need us, we'll be out on the lanai.
And miss this like hell we will.
Shady Pie.
In that case, bacon and eggs.
Girls, I just don't know what I am going to do about Mr. Ted Tanner.
If the man wants to colorize movies, let him colorize movies. It's show business, for God's sake.
They fight over whether it's macaroni and cheese or cheese and macaroni. They have given cows the right to vote. A magician once pulled a rabbit out of a hat. They burned him as a witch. Don't look at me like that. I'm telling you the truth.
Look, I'm sure you're very close to Miss...
You say that.
Did that champagne kick in yet?
No. But if you're ready to make your move, I can pretend it did. Devil, you. I just figured out what's going on here.
Blanche.
You were sore at me for inviting your friend without asking you, so you had this guy to come over and teach me a lesson.
Ma, are you in there?
You know, this is the first time in years I felt like the real me.
I just can't believe you really feel this way. You know, Lorraine's mother's not the least bit concerned about our age difference.
Well, she's entitled to her opinion.
$100 so I can get my TV. And I've been working out what we can tell Blanche about that plate. I wrote it down. You be Rose, why don't I be Sophia? This is what we'll say right after they walk in the door. Hi, Blanche. You look beautiful. Welcome home. I love you. I broke...
Stanley?
Yeah.
I forgot to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Some Christmas.
Oh, come on, Stanley. You're the most fortunate person here.
Big deal.
Stanley, you've always been able to turn bad holidays around. Do you remember...
And you don't don't have to build him up to me, honey. I like him fine already. It's 5 o'clock. Where's Holly? Out with Dorothy, I think. Still? Oh, I'm going to owe Dorothy big for this one. You know something, Rose? I don't think you're being...
You look terrific. Well, you haven't changed a bit in 40 years.
Angelo, you're a priest. You shouldn't lie.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Before the trip, I said an extra 50 Hail Marys in case I felt like cutting a loose. Dorothy.
Blanche, you were unfaithful to George?
Oh, of course not. I was only flirting. There's nothing wrong with that. It keeps you healthy, keeps you in shape, keeps your buttocks firm.
And I wasted all that time on jazzercise.
I have to confess,
I am a real teacher. Oh, look, Ma. Her ears are starting to get all red. Someone's getting mad. My ears are not getting red. You know, you do this every time. You just come in here and start pushing my buttons. Well, it's not going to work. Now, go ahead, hide your pain.
Rose, whatever it is you're thinking, it isn't true. Good, then George Bush isn't married to his mother. Boy, that was easier than I thought. This lock has been tampered.
Enormous lips.
Anyway, Ma told me that once I started shaving, I'd never be able to stop. I mean, she said I'd regret it for the rest of my life because my legs would have bristles.
I was right. By the time you were 16, I could grate cheese on your knees.
We're having dinner on Saturday.
I really appreciate this. You're meeting my mother.
Hey, you want to get married?
You mean instead of meeting my mother?
No, we can do both.
It's kind of sudden. Well, honey, for starters, you talk in your sleep.
And let's face it, you know Dick Cavett awake.
I do not talk in my sleep. Oh, yes, you do too, and you snore.
No, I don't. Dorothy snores.
Oh, that's right. Dorothy, I swear you snore worse than a sailor passed out at an adult motel after a night of unbridled.
Woman's in denial. I saw that dog with Ida's blue scarf in his mouth, and no one has seen her since.
Ma, what does Fred's dog have to do with this?
It's a known fact that dogs take on the personality traits of their masters.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah? Then why does your brother Phil's poodle like to wear that tutu and hop around on his hind legs?
Why did you ask me that?
No reason, just wanted to get your honest opinion. Here are the answers to that questionnaire.
Aha.
If Dorothy finds out I hired a matchmaker for her, she'll kill me.
Oh, I understand.
By the way, I'd like to change the answer on number 10. I think a prison record does...
I believe the nerve of that guy. What were you doing in Ladies Petite? Come in.
Oh, Dorothy, I'm glad you're home.
And she can stay here until we find her a place.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I mean, if nobody minds.
Mind? Why should we mind? Dorothy, could I see you in the living room for a moment? Are you out of your mind?
What?
Oh, thank God this mess is over. I couldn't see a thing through this crap.
Well, I'm all packed and ready to go.
Good, I'll have your lunch done in a minute.
Unless she really cares, take it from me. And I happen to like you.
My life stinks.
I know. Things are tough at home, and that really does stink. But you have a choice. You can tough it out, or you can let it beat you. But right now you're here, and this doesn't...
Or what?
Or what?
Happily?
Happily.
Damn.
Boy, what a relief.
You're telling me I thought I was a goner.
what to do about Al?
No, I'm just as confused as ever.
Rosa, impedisci il lavoro con i tuoi problemi, capisci?
Vincenzo says he thinks he has a solution to your problem.
Really? Well, translate for me, Sophia.
Well, I'm a little bit rusty, but I think he said, picture it, Sicily. Is it true what they say about black men in bed?
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh, yes, definitely. That is something I would like to know about, too. What'd he say?
He said that since Emily's parents left her in our care, we do have two options. We can either wait for the Children's Protective Services to contact us, which should take about 48 hours, or we can take her in.
Take her in? Where?
Around the inseam, Rose. For the police!
Why don't you just sleep on it, Rose? I know you'll make the right decision. The right decision. The right decision.
Come in.
That no member of your family was ever a returning champion on Jeopardy.
Anyway, that's why I have to speak. Oh, I've dreaded this day coming. I just can't do it.
Rose, calm down, honey. Now listen, I know an easy way to get through this. The way...
I'll make it up to you, Dorothy, I promise. Listen, if there's ever a night where you can't sleep, I'll come to your room and sing Kumbaya.
Rose, I don't know what to say. Yes, I do. Don't ever do that.
Rose.
$600, you get a siren that your neighbors ignore. But with our deluxe system, an armed guard is here within 5 minutes.
I want something that electrocutes an intruder.
How much more is the deluxe system?
Ladies, we're talking about the difference between being here in the morning or being steak tartare.
Okay, let's see. You said 8 years ago, Spring? That starts right here. I'm going to prove to you I am not a sexually indiscriminate person.
Well, her name isn't Bed.
Wait a minute. It says right there, you slept with a traveling salesman.
In fairness, it says that on her license.
This was a lovely afternoon.
Oh, I'll say, I just love the legitimate theater. You know, I missed Mr. Lee J. Cobb in Death of a Salesman. I missed Mr. Marlon Brando in Streetcar Named Desire. Well, I was damned if I was going to miss Mr. Dick Butkus and Pal Joey.
And there's a brand new water heater in the garage and wall-to-wall carpet.
It meant no more PMS.
I never had PMS.
Neither did I. But I had a BMW.
All right, I have had it. Thanks to all this constant bickering, I have a splitting headache.
Oh, girls, let's face facts. The three of us just can't agree on anything. I mean, it is obvious we want...
Nice try, Dorothy. Rose, you taste it.
Rose, don't! That tea was for my mommy.
You try to do right by your kid.
A Picasso with mozzarella. A Rembrandt with tomato sauce.
I thought it needed more salt.
And garlic. It's a little flat.
Oh, wow! Look at this! Boy, the place is really coming along.
Boy, I'll say it is.
I have to give you two credit. It looks...
Rose, I was just thinking about you.
Really?
Yeah, my hand was throbbing.
I brought you a Vans Cap caca. It's a traditional St. Olaf friendship cake.
Rose, I don't want any gifts from you. I mean, I really don't want to have anything to do with you.
Most of the boys I dated in college were just for the stories.
You must have more stories than O. Henry.
I'm going to unpack. Now, this isn't fair. You have to tell us.
No, you don't. But if you go out that door and don't come back in, we'll know you didn't. And if you do come back, that means you did.
J.O., it was not being here with all of you. Only seeing you for 10 minutes a day on Visitor's Day. That's not enough time for Rose to get one of her St. Olaf stories off the runway. All I'm trying to say is maybe you're not much, but you're all I've got. Am I crying, pussycat?
No, Ma.
I guess it...
Hadn't slept so well in years.
But it certainly has nothing to do with this rock. Look, I like Marguerite as much as you do, but she's been here a week and she is not doing a very good job.
I think she's doing a terrific job. Why, ever since she gave me that potion, Norman's been on me like white on rice.
And talking about house white...
Rough labor?
Rough conception.
Oh, she doesn't need those classes. I think women ought to have babies the way God intended, strapped to a table numb from the neck down.
When we go to the movies, who always stands in line for the popcorn? I do. When we vacuum, who always lifts up the furniture? I do. When we clean the kitchen, who always mops? Dorothy. Who cleans the mop? I do. She takes advantage, Rose, and it's time... Of course, these people have corneas that look like cotton balls. Maybe I better talk. Is that right? Well, listen, Myra, I'm not afraid of you. I'm from Sicily. You know what the #1 export of our village is? Ransom notes. And a flashback in the can.
You're still mad at me, aren't you?
Yes, I'm mad at you. Every time you come into my life, something bad happens.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You know, I wish we can go back to the beginning, try again, go back to that first apartment. We didn't have much, but we were happy to have our own place.
Those were good times. Well, doesn't anyone want to hear how my date turned out?
Oh, honey, was it just terrible? Oh, sweetheart, you can tell us.
It was wonderful.
Really? Where is Dr. Marvelous? What kind of man doesn't walk a girl to the door?
One who's too exhausted to walk?
Dorothy.
I'll draw a face on my hand.
Ma, what are you doing up?
I've got an hour till my paper route starts, so I thought I'd do some chin-ups. I was worried about Rose. I'm a member of this family, too.
I'm sorry. Ma, that's really very sweet, considering that we have to get up so darn early.
Well, boom.
Is that where that comes from?
Well, I better be on my way. It's my day to get groceries. Oh, God, I hate going to the supermarket.
Well, Rose, if you'd stop playing express line detective, people would stop yelling at you.
Oh, I see. So when you're standing in line, Reed said, crunching his chips. Oh, he's dead. Wrong way driver hit him head on. Totally dead, ma'am. Crunch, crunch.
Oh, no.
Puts me on hold and then eats Doritos while he tells me my life is over. Oh, Rose has to tell her. Rose won't eat. Started feeling those awful stirrings and urgings. I was like a spring blooming peach bud just ripened to dewy fruition, waiting to be plucked by the first handsome man to come my way.
You were looking for some nookie.
Exactly.
Ma, well, all she saw was the woman she loved growing old and wrinkled in a wheelchair.
Just goes to show how different one generation can be from another.
Absolutely.
I'll see. Well, what y'all want to do now? And me. Always mouthing off about how her hair was curlier than mine, her complexion was prettier than mine. I finally said there was good reason for it. She was left by gypsies. Had her completely convinced.
What did she say when you told her the truth?
Oh, I never did.
News. They're sending me back.
Oh, Mario, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Oh, it's so unfair. I can't believe it. But listen, this doesn't mean that we're going to have to give up. We're going to fight this. There are legal ways to keep you in this country, and tomorrow morning we're going to find out.
Dorothy, before I go, I need your opinion on something.
Yeah?
What should I give Phil's daughter as a wedding gift? Your grandmother's lace tablecloth or $50 towards getting a neck?
Give her the tablecloth.
You're right. She's got a husband. He doesn't care that she looks like Abe Vigoda. Why should I? I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, let's see. I'm 9 weeks late. It would have been 2 weeks before that, so about 11 weeks ago.
9 weeks late, and you just realized that something is wrong?
Yes. I kind of lost track.
Well, I think you better get out your book and find out what you did that week.
We know what she did. We don't know with who.
wrong with you? You made me feel crazy, like I had made it all up. You dismissed me. You made me feel like a child, a fool, a neurotic who was wasting your precious time. Is that your caring profession? Is that healing? Yeah, that's the part I like.
Angela.
Oh.
Folks, to begin this part of the service, Phil's sister Dorothy will say a few words. Dorothy? Please.
Gerald, to continue seeing you.
Allow me. Mother, this is where it stops.
See what happens? You put sugar in his tea, didn't you?
It is not the sugar, Mother, it's you.
Mama's boy, huh?
This is my life. I'm a grown man, and I am going to love the woman I want to love, whether she meets with your approval or not.
I am never shopping at Fiedler Brothers again.
I beg your pardon.
Well, it's a little late for that. I've never been so humiliated in my life.
What about the time you lost the key to your handcuffs and had to go with that guy on his mail route?
We're talking about the aliens from outer space.
Oh, those aliens. Get out, both of you.
Dorothy, now have a heart. Rose and I rented that movie Aliens, and it just scared us half to death.
Scared me too. That Sigourney Weaver's a sweet girl, but she really shouldn't go without makeup.
I don't have time for that.
I'm Mr. Fix-It. Here to please. No problem, too big or too small.
This is great. It's better than vaudeville.
Well, I'm all yours, ladies. Just lead me to the trouble. There's nothing I can't fix, except maybe this old noggin. That could use a little rewiring. Well, let's go.
Come on, selection, and Blanche hates us.
No, I'm upset because they haven't rerun The Facts of Life Goes to Australia.
I wouldn't be surprised if Blanche never speaks to us again.
Well, she'd certainly have every reason not to. We did a terrible thing not believing her.
Yeah. And I got Maslansky to take part of my patient load, too. In fact, I got him to take it all for the next 3 days while we're here in New York on our second honeymoon.
George, I love you.
I love you, too.
But honey, this isn't our second honeymoon.
आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला बबडी माझी पोळी तुझ्या गालावर पडते खळी तुला लावितो गलाडी गोडी रंगाना थोडी हाय काळी तुझं बबडी माझी पोळी तुझ्या गालावर पडते खळी तुला लावितो गलाडी गोडी रंगाना थोडी हाय काळी जावापासून भेटली मला चैन पडे ना गजीवाला जावापासून भेटली मला चैन पडे ना गजीवाला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला जाणू दिसायला गपरी तुझ्या माग ही दुनिया सारी मी आता माग माग तुझ्या तू जाते गच्चीवरी जाणू दिसायला गपरी तुझ्या माग ही दुनिया सारी मी आता माग माग तुझ्या तू जाते गच्चीवरी जो कोणी आला मधी ग आपल्या एका एकाला मी पळविला जो कोणी आला मधी ग आपल्या एका एकाला मी पळविला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला बसली गुपचूप घरी म्हणे मी माझ्या पप्पाची तरी लव्ह मॅरेज करून जानो तुला घेऊन जाईन घरी बसली गुपचूप घरी म्हणे मी माझ्या पप्पाची तरी लव्ह मॅरेज करून जानो तुला घेऊन जाईन घरी अक्षय नितीनचा नवीन तडगा जाऊन सांग तुझ्या बाबाला अक्षय नितीनचा नवीन तडगा जाऊन सांग तुझ्या बाबाला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला आता या पिल्लू कर तयारी जायचं आता काश्मीरला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला तुला घेऊन शालू बनारसीचा जायचं आता हनीमूनला
Bye.